We're going to be working in our social studies notebook, so go ahead and open that up. Maybe you want to pause me because I'm going to start scrolling to our page. We are going to go all the way until page 31. Now, I will just show you these because we did these as a class. However, you will need to change to, if you remember in class, I said I had the words reincarnation and karma where Aryan and subcontinent were. But because we have already talked about reincarnation and karma when we talked about world religions, I felt like it was a little repetitive. So I changed the words. You will need people who settled in ancient Iran and the northern Indian subcontinent to mean Aryan. Because Sanskrit is the written language of the Aryans. They live on the subcontinent of India, with a subcontinent being a large, relatively self-contained, so it's by itself, landmass forming a subdivision of a continent. We'll look on the map, but in the example of India, the Himalayan mountains and the Indus River disconnect the rest of India from the continent of Asia. We then have the caste system, which is a rigid social system that determines a person's place in life. A monsoon are seasonal strong winds that can pick up sand or water. We have rajas, which are Aryan leaders or kings. The fun fact I gave is Jasmine in Aladdin calls her pet tiger Raja, which means king, as she is part of royalty. We then worked on the geography, but we are going to read this first. Make sure you use your context clues because when we were doing the maps, a lot of you didn't use this beautiful map that has so many answers. You could have had so much. So, Indus River Valley. And here it is on the globe. The Indus River Valley gets its name and its rich soil from the Indus River. Bum, bum, bum. Could you imagine that the Indus River Valley gets its water from the Indus River? I know, mind-blowing. The Indus River, which crosses the Himalayas and flows as far as the Arabian Sea. Another river, the Ganges River, also cuts through the Himalayas. It empties into the Bay of Bengal. The two rivers created fertile land for farming, and their banks became the sites of major cities. In the Indus River Valley, the cities of Harappa and Mohenjo-daro emerged. Around 2600 BCE, and grew to nearly 40,000 people. The cities were carefully laid out in a grid. One of the amazing things is this is a blueprint of Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. You'll notice the straight lines, where it is almost like set neighborhoods. It is pretty similar, despite having 4,000 years difference in time, to modern-day Manhattan, New York. So, looking at geography, we have the Indus River in red, connecting and making a subcontinent of India with the Himalayan mountains in orange. We learned over here that the Indus River empties into the Arabian Sea in yellow. As well as the Himalayas emptying into the Bay of Bengal in green. Now this is where I said make sure you use your map because you would know Mohenjo-daro is blue over here, while Harappa will be purple up here. Now these ones you just had to know, or Miss J's had to tell you. We have the Deccan Plateau or the Deccan Plateau. Remember, a plateau is like if you took a mountain, chopped it in half. So you basically have like a countertop in the middle of the world where it goes up and then goes flat. It's like a step stool in nature. And then you have the Thar Desert. So the reason it is a subcontinent is because you have a body of water, a desert, and a mountain range separating India from the rest of the Asian continent. We're going to stop there because we will pick up with monsoons and environmental challenges when we get back together.